808s and Joysticks with Tom Stone and Tairell Hayward-Brown.
Welcome to 808s and Joysticks, the show that bridges the gap between games, music, season with pop culture. I'm Tairell, and joining me today, as always, is Tom.
Yeah, as you can hear, obviously don't have a cold this week, so we're all doing well. And it's our 2019.
I'm not doing well.
No, because it's our 2019 Spooktacular. So
no, it's not. We've never called it the Spooktacular before.
It's now the Spooktacular.
We didn't have a 2018 Spooktacular. So where did you get this from?
It's Spooktacular. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, it's our spooky edition.
Let's start with some scary news. BlizzCon is coming up very soon. We all know that that's going to be very scary for a lot of people involved. There's still a lot of arguments, debates surrounding what's going on over at Blizzard Activision, what's going on with the China interference, everything like that. And they've sort of ignored that and gone, Overwatch 2 is coming out, so people have focused on that a bit more. And obviously the recent Bethesda news has overshadowed that, which we'll get into in just a little bit. But we do have some actual information regarding Overwatch 2. So it has been clarified that the next iteration of Overwatch isn't going to be called Overwatch 2, but probably a variant called Overwatch Chapter 2, much like Fortnite's new Chapter 2 system they just brought out. So whether this name change is something that has come about because of that, we don't know. Definitely could be, considering the backlash that Blizzard have got recently. And then Fortnite obviously being such a success, they just sort of gone, let's take the naming convention of that. Makes sense. But a ESPN writer did tweet out again saying that his previous tweet on Hero 32 expected to be Echo has been deleted because it's likely to be untrue. So there's not too much information apart from the new logo sports a 2 next to the side of it. And there's just going to be new stuff, which, I mean, obviously you expect, but more news definitely to come at BlizzCon next week. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that them sort of leaking a bit of Overwatch information is just trying to overshadow stuff? Do you think the Chapter 2 naming convention is definitely inspired by Fortnite?
I want to say yeah, because apparently Overwatch 2, there's a lot of confusion going on here. So some people are saying that it's an iteration and it's going to be Overwatch Chapter 2, whereas some people are trying to say that Overwatch 2 is a brand new game that has a new logo. It has new game modes, maps, heroes, and PvE features. I think a lot of back and forth has gone between how to launch this, because there's apparently going to be a story-based sequence set in Rio de Janeiro as well. Like a PvE-based mission, a new game mode called Push, based on a new map in Toronto. I don't really know if they have like double backed on it and thought, well, releasing Overwatch 2 as Overwatch 2 probably won't be the right thing to do. But then by the sounds of it, it has all the makings to be enough of a game to become a second game. So if this is just an addition to Overwatch, then I think that's great. I think that is really good that anybody who already has the game can continue on using the exact same game and have the benefits of having this second iteration, just like how you said Fortnite has the Chapter 2. Mm-hmm. Even though Fortnite Chapter 2, it changed the landscape of the game, but not to a point where people are unfamiliar with it. So it was just much more waterlogged to my well, to me, that's what like how I seen the map of Fortnite. There's a lot more water areas, and there was swimming involved, and I think they mentioned jet skis or something. I don't know. I could be lying. I don't play Fortnite. I just read about and watch some videos on it because I was quite intrigued. And I never gave credit actually to Epic on how they did Fortnite Chapter 2. Like the whole everyone who was in the game at the time, they all got sucked into a black hole. If you was in the lobby and waiting for a game, your whole game interface all got sucked into a black hole, and it all just goes black into one little point that looks like there's something just emerging out of the black hole. And I thought that was brilliant on Epic side and Fortnite to manage to pull off a worldwide, basically an event in a game worldwide like that, and there was no hitches. Like, we didn't have no people were still playing the game or anything like that. Like, people really thought that was the end of the Fortnite world for a short period of time. I don't even know how long they did it for. Was it like a day or so? Or was it a few hours?
48 hours, 2 to 3 days roughly.
See, it's a long time. Within those time, they had little messages appear on the screen. If you did the Konami cheat code, which is the classic cheat code that was done for Contra, I believe, you managed to get up a game that was similar to one of the Konami classics. They did a few little nice Easter eggs while launching their Chapter 2. Whereas I feel like Blizzard has just gone the typical route of we're Blizzard and we're just going to leak some of this information here and there. And surprise at BlizzCon, Overwatch 2. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of Blizzard things have become. Just like the company of Blizzard, just kind of just old, tired, lazy, set in their ways. Like, I just don't really think that they really care. Like, Diablo 4 has been teased and teased and teased for how many years? They brought out a bullshit mobile game, and now you're going to bring Diablo 4 because it's been leaked via an art book? I don't really know how I feel about this. Blizzard, it's still a boycott from me. Fair enough for what you're doing on Overwatch, but I ain't playing Overwatch. How they've handled the situation is still poor. They've now suspended the high school kids from America. I think that's poor. I think, yeah, they did it to be fair, but at the same time, if you're an American company, you should be upholding certain values of free speech as you are in America. You have a certain person as a president right now who says flagrant shit all the time. And it's all just chalked up to because he's the president and it's free speech, and why can't we say it and it's America? But yet you are, discrediting a lot of people and making them come out and say sorry about something that they just stood up and they thought they believed in because it was an injustice in another country that is tied very deeply to their industry that they're in. And I just think we shouldn't give Blizzard a pass still. I want to see the same energy that everyone's giving Bethesda for what's happening in their game, for what Blizzard is doing right now in the suppression of actually speaking out against stuff and then trying to chalk it up to breaking competition rules, because that's not the case, is it? They lied. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Overwatch 2. I loved Overwatch, but I haven't played it for a while now. Yeah, whatever, innit? I don't know how BlizzCon is going to go. It starts on November the 1st. I can't see it being a success. I'm waiting for all the videos and the commentary on it because I feel like BlizzCon is going to be a mess. But we shall see.
Mm-hmm. And like we mentioned before, it's quite ironic in a way that it's happening around Halloween time, because it is going to be somewhat of a horror show, which is not too surprising, but considering it's probably one of the biggest events to date, especially considering how it went last year, it's an important day for the company and the games industry as a whole as well. So it'd be interesting to watch how it pans out in the end. And speaking about sort of the games industry and where it's going, Bethesda, obviously, if you haven't been following any gaming news or haven't listened to any of our recent podcasts, you will know that Bethesda releasing Fallout 76, it's been awful. The release has been awful. The post-release updates have been awful. I know the customer satisfaction is awful. There's no other word to really describe it. But they did announce the other week that a new thing is coming to Fallout 76 called Fallout First. And this is a $100 a year subscription service, which allows you to get a single player experience in a multiplayer game, but you have to buy the game again, sort of subscription wise, for $100 a year. So I mean, put it this way, fans were not happy, and rightly so. It's I mean, I don't want to say disgusting, but it is sort of disgusting behaviour from a company as big as Bethesda to do something like this.
It's disgusting, because I don't know if you know this as well, Tom, that they went back on their words by saying that all microtransactions will be cosmetic only. They said that after debating and looking at the data. I'm still always trying to figure out what this data is that these companies are looking at, because I would like to know what data suggested to them to make microtransactions into gameplay features. What data suggested you should do that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, after we considered the data, we thought that we needed to revamp our atomic shop. These are words from an employee, I'm assuming an exec at Bethesda, who, it wasn't Todd Howard. Oh God, no, it wasn't Todd Howard, because he's spouted his nonsense off more than enough. He's been talking a lot of shit. I think he's got something to do with this Fallout First rubbish. And I can't wait to actually see E3 next year and how he dances around this, because they danced around Fallout 76 last year. So how are we going to dance even more? I remember when they said all that. Remember when they had that whole huge wall of like all the content that they're going to come out with? Where is it?
I mean, it might have come out, to be fair.
It didn't. The one came out and 2 got delayed. The survival mode that they had, the Battle Royale mode, was put in the game, and that hasn't returned.
Well, it was awful. I mean, I played Fallout 76 around the E3 period, and I think if you go back to our E3 episode, I talk a little bit about that there, but the game for me was just awful, and I can see why they thought about this subscription service and why they needed to charge for things now, because what you saw was there was a lot of people jumping in that were just new to the game because it was free, but the only other people that were playing it were like level 100 people. So these are dedicated Fallout fans that have put loads of time and effort into this, and Bethesda must be sat there going, okay, our player base is really, really low, but we've got really high sort of retention rate or really high play time from these players, and they keep wanting to buy cosmetic stuff. So why don't we just milk them for more money? That's my sort of view on that. That's what I think has happened there, because they know this game isn't going to be a success, and the best way to make money from it now is to milk those players that have stayed with them, basically.
But I understand what you're saying by that, but a lot of these players that were super high levels were players who found ways to exploit the game and essentially use it to their advantage. These weren't players that were paying for the game in any way, capacity. They would exploit the game. They were the ones that were in the developer room. These are some of the most prolific players who have been stockpiling certain things, racking up crazy amounts of hours on the game because that's the only game that they play. But there wasn't many of these kind of players. And even if you was going to introduce a subscription model like that, it's not integral to the game. It gives you certain features that players have been asking for, and you shouldn't be charging for them. You as a company shouldn't be charging people $12.99 a month or $13.99 a month for a private server that's not really private, a scrap box that allows for items to go missing when you put it in there, an unlimited scrap box, should I say, that when players have been putting their items in there, they have gone missing and they cannot retrieve them. They have to put a ticket in with customer support, and they would try and help them retrieve your items back. Not sure people have got them back yet. What else? Coming to find out that the private servers that you've been put in are just randomized seeded servers that are being placed out by Amazon Web Service. So they're basically essentially servers that have already been used by other players that are dead servers now that have been reallocated to private servers. So you've got worlds that are uninhabited, looted, and you've got scrap boxes that are eating all the scrap that you are collecting and taking other people's valuable items that they've been collecting over years of gameplay. So now if you're really trying to introduce a subscription service to reward these players that are so high leveled and are the ones who are, you know, playing the game the most, then why give them such a poor offering? Do you know what I mean? Like, why not try? They didn't even try. They didn't even try to make it into a nice thing, a good thing to even do. None of those features are anything. So the important thing, what is that?
The important thing here is there's a few more features which are included with the subscription service. So that's a survival tent that allows you to fast travel from a placeable fast travel point. So, you know, good feature for $12.99 a month. That a basic feature of many other games. 1,650 atoms a month for the game's in-game shop.
I think
so. You're
that
paying
that's,
to get credit back to put into the game to pay more credit towards.
Apparently, that's not even the equivalent to like anything really that great in the atom shop either. I still think it's.
Oh no, I don't expect it to be.
I don't even know if it's actually enough to even buy the canvas bag. Like,
an exclusive Ranger armor outfit.
Oh, so, you mean that piece of shit armor that they just like cobbled out of nowhere? It looks like ass. Where did they get that armor from? You couldn't give them something better than that. And
unique icons and emotes.
Oh,
but can we pull this back? So, okay, with Fortnite, you get a battle pass, you get certain things, or you can buy skins and stuff like that. Okay, but that's a choice. Subscription service also a choice, but you get for $12.99 a month dollars, you get an exclusive Ranger armor outfit. Whether that goes when your subscription ends or not, I'm not sure. And unique icons and emotes and other like. Can you justify charging this much money for a game that people have already paid $60 for, plus maybe DLC, plus maybe cosmetic items? So some people, let's say the average player of this game, hardcore player of this game, has spent £150, $150 already on this game. Bethesda come out and say, okay, oh, you love our game so much, why not pay $99 more this year to get a skin, some emotes, one item to allow you to fast travel, and a few other basic things that other multiplayer games have as standard for $100 more. That's nearly twice the amount the game costs to buy, and you're getting, at best, multiplayer features from games, basic multiplayer features from games that come out maybe 10 years ago. You probably get more free stuff when World of Warcraft came out, and you're now charging $100 for something that is twice the amount of the game when the game came out. So you're saying that these features are worth twice as much as the game itself that you're trying to play. It makes no sense. No sense at all.
It makes no sense at all, exactly, and I have no idea why anybody would even opt into something like this. If you are going to opt in anything, I'm just gonna I just want to make sure that the listeners are informed. So $11.99 UK is for 1 month membership, and it's £100 for the 12-month membership. I just want to just do a little something in comparison, just so people know that there's good things out there. So if you're in the UK currently, I'm not sure about America. PC Console Ultimate. This is for the Xbox Game Pass. You can now currently join the Xbox Game Pass on the PC for £1. Unlimited access to over 100 high quality games. You get Spotify Premium for 6 months. All the Xbox Game Studio titles when they premiere. Exclusive member discounts and deals. That is £1. You can join for £1 just right now. You can join for £1 on the PC, and you get access to all those games.
Should point out that it's £1 for the first month.
Oh, for the first month, yeah. I'm just saying, but you know, if you was going to spend money on something, you could spend £1 right now to get a month of access to 100 high quality PC games. And even if you wanted to use it on your Xbox console, you can also join the Ultimate one for a month only for £1 as well. And you get access on the PC, your Xbox console, and you get Xbox Live Gold, and you get Spotify, all for £1 right now. And you mean to tell me that Bethesda's charging $11.99 a month for some bullshit features that should already be in the game? Private worlds that aren't private. Friends that can access your private world without even you inviting them. How does that work out?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work out? You can't even use mods on the private world. What's the point? What is the point? It's your own private server. Why shouldn't you be able to do whatever you want on there? They're just alienating their own audience. Fallout would be nothing without their modding community.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what they're doing. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know if it's Bethesda. I don't know if it's Todd Howard. I don't know if it's ZeniMax. I don't know if it's Oculus. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know who's got to do with any of this yet. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the Elder Scrolls development team. I don't know who's trying to sabotage anyone yet, but it needs to stop. Because surely people can't be looking at this and thinking this is a good idea and this is going to actually last a long time. I can see Fallout 76 lasting about a couple months and it's going to go free to play.
Mm-hmm. Just to back up your point. So, how much is Fallout First per month?
Fallout First is $11.99 for 1 month membership, and then £100 for the 12 months. That is valued at $8.33 a month. So they really can technically charge us £8.30, or at least even £8 if you want to go there, or $8.50 a month. But they're choosing to charge everyone at £11.99 to have the privilege of being able to cancel their piece of shit after a month.
Mm-hmm. And you can join Game Pass for £1, like you said, obviously, but you can also, after that first month finishes, resubscribe for $7.99 on console or PC a month.
Oh wait, $3.99 a month is an introductory price, so but that's for the PC right now. So that's for the first. I don't know how many months that would be for, but maybe 12 or 6.
Well, we're ignoring the introductory price, obviously, because it's still a beta. So if it goes $7.99 a month, still cheaper than Fallout. And then you ask, obviously, what if I want that Ultimate one that Tairell mentioned, where I have an Xbox and a PC? Well, after your first month, it's $10.99 a month, so it's still cheaper. Now, I can also go out and get Origin access or EA access for roughly the same price a month. I can get Netflix, Prime Video, Uplay. Maybe I want, something else when it comes out. Maybe like even Stadia when Stadia comes out. So why does this pricing scheme seem like a good idea to anyone? There is the point I think we're both trying to make and have made, and it doesn't. And honestly, I think they're just trying to. I think they know they've got a piece of shit. Apologies for the language. I think they know they've got a piece of shit, and I think literally they're just sort of like, well, we've got this piece of shit. People have sort of put their hand in it. Maybe we should just, like, I don't know, shit on them a bit more. I think that's literally what they're thinking, like, over there right now. I think they're just there's no other logical explanation to it apart from people have invested in this shit. Let's throw some more shit at them. Like it.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense anymore, does it? It's no. like okay, I see we have a product here. How far can we actually milk this product? Yeah, everyone is telling you right now that is not a good idea. We don't want this. These things should have been in the game. It's the fact that they said that after considering customer feedback. So all these people saying on Reddit problems with the games, they fixed it and then they charged everyone for it. Like, I just don't get, why would you do that? You're just trying to piss people off. Like, Bethesda, why would you do that? Like, no one is going to be, yes, we're going to go. This is going to cause such a issue for when they try and sell Elder Scrolls to us. Because I'm going to be so dubious of Elder Scrolls. I'm not going to want to buy the game. I'm not going to want to buy it.
I'm not buying that game.
It's gonna look outdated as hell anyway, man. They're just talking about how I can never forget that time when we was laughing so badly when Bethesda said we've hit a new groundbreaking technology. We're using photorealism for the first time. I was like, are you really shitting me right now? Photorealism for the first time in a game, in a Bethesda game. That just goes to show you how outdated Bethesda's engine must be.
But that comes in the subscription only $39.99 a month DLC.
Oh my gosh. Elder Scrolls Online is doing well because that is being managed by ZeniMax Online. That is nothing to do with Bethesda. So Elder Scrolls Online is doing impressively well at the moment.
If you look at it, all the games that have come out under Bethesda publishing have done really well. All the first party Bethesda games that have come out in the last 2 years or 3 years have not done very well.
Even the newest Wolfenstein was shit. How did they manage to mess that up? They had such a great Wolfenstein, and then they had this next Wolfenstein that was like a half sequel, but it wasn't really a sequel. It was like a kind of sequel. Because I remember when me and you seen it at E3 and we was like, wait a minute, didn't Wolfenstein just come out like a year ago? Why are they bringing another Wolfenstein out? Come to find out, it's like a co-op Wolfenstein game. But oh no, wait, it isn't really a full Wolfenstein game. It's kind of a half game that's been done really poorly by a smaller studio. Mm-hmm. So what was the point, Bethesda? Why are you trying to make more money out of a IP that just needs its time to actually develop and have a rest? You shouldn't be churning out a game for it every 2 years. People have been screaming for Elder Scrolls, and you've been remastering Skyrim for the last 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it.
They have this thing of milking a cow until it's literally...
It's dead. It's fucking dry.
Yeah, it's just pumping out dust.
It's old.
Just shitting itself, and they're just sort of going, we've got a bit of dust and some shit. We can make some like chocolate milk and send that out and people might like it. And that's sort of the analogy I'm going for, is that...
It's actually not a bad analogy, because I feel like that's what Bethesda try and do. Like, they're trying to like, oh, I know you like that milk that we used to have, but... Here's our new chocolate milk, and you're just like, like on the surface it all looks great, and then you drink it and you're like, oh, this tastes like the same old milk with some with some shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is exactly how Bethesda. That is a great analogy. I think if people want to know that is what Bethesda is trying to do. They're trying to sell us shit milk. That's what they're trying to do. And don't sell us shit milk. Go get alt milk. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've somehow they're backed up changing it to milk, but I mean, yeah. As we know, Bethesda Fallout, not a good combination of the last 2 or 3 years. But if you're a Fallout fan, don't worry, because the Outer Worlds has just come out. Apparently, it's really good.
I thought we all thought it was going to be really good until I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this, but Tom, you seem to have more information on the game. Isn't very long, or as long as people were expecting. I just want you to just give us some more insight on what that's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's really, really good still. Like, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just surprised personally from it not being as long. I mean, there were rumours, to be fair, and they did sort of say that it's not going to be that long because it's the first game. It's sort of, for them, a tester, I'd say. So while it's a really good game, it's maybe not as long as some RPGs should be, which is, it's okay. It's not too bad, but if you do look at it, if you consider the price of it, you can pick the game up for roughly I think you can pick it up from certain places for around 37 pound, which isn't too bad, for roughly a third of the year's subscription for Fallout First, you could buy 3 copies of the Outer Worlds, gift 2 to your friends, and you can't play online, but you will have a good experience and can talk about it.
See what I mean, though? Like, the thing about you can't play online at the moment, but this could be something that they could easily implement into the game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they could manage to maybe sort out some type of multiplayer experience for the Outer Worlds now that they see that the game was actually popular, or they could add on to it. And I seen something really great in the comment section that people were complaining about the length of time. I think that we as players, or gamers, or whatever they want to call us these days, I would say more consumers, we have that kind of problem where we like things to be really long, but we like them to come out quick. Like, we want things instantly, but we want it to last forever. And then when it finishes, you're so upset because you've done that thing in about 2 days. Like, you've watched the whole series in about 2 days, sometimes even a day. And it's really, really frustrating when it ends because you're like, damn, I wish I just paced that, because it would have been so much more satisfying. Whereas I feel like with games, it is getting to that point as well, where some people have started to forget that a lot of these games that are really long and drawn out have a bunch of filler in it that is very unnecessary. Like Red Dead, very unnecessarily long game. There was a bunch of things in that game that could have been made so it was much more enjoyable to play and was a lot more of like a streamlined experience. Granted, it's an open world game. They wanted you to explore. I think the same with Outer Worlds. I think if you took your time with the game, as some people are suggesting in the comment section, there's one guy who says that he feels like he can easily do 80 hours because he's only exploring one path. He's not being a bad guy. He's only being a good guy. So I feel like it's a game that you could probably play through multiple times. It depends what kind of player you are as well. If you're a person who likes to explore and get every item and look at different things and look at all the details of the world, that's a player like I am. I don't really like to rush through games. I like to run around, look around, see what's the best thing. I like to get the best weapons. I like to get the strongest weapon. Like early on in the game, I'm trying to find out what's the strongest thing that I can find that will help me like the most at the beginning. It just depends what kind of player you are, and I feel like the Outer Worlds has a lot of time, and the world around it, or it seems very interesting. Like they could add to that, as I said, add a multiplayer expansion onto it or something like that. I feel like the game is a lot more quality than Fallout 4, which was a very long game, but as a lot of people said, it was a very long game, meaning it was boring. There was boring parts to it. The world was very vast and empty because it's a wasteland. So I see the gripes that people have. I don't really know what else to really say other than I'm going to try it out and I'm going to play it. I don't really play games like this, but I am excited to see what it's going to be like because it's a very interesting looking game. So, yeah, and we spoke about it quite a lot in here, saying that to get this over Fallout, if you want to have a more true Fallout experience, and that is according to people who I know who played Fallout or are massive Fallout fans, and they've told me that this is the game that seems the most true to Fallout since Fallout New Vegas. So that's a big thing to say as well, because Fallout New Vegas is really good. I played that actually.
Well, it is because obviously the developers behind it, stuff like that. There's close links there. But yeah, I mean, all the news I've heard so far is positive about the game. The only thing was that obviously the time just wasn't drastically long, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I was just surprised by it.
I'm about to say, like, some people are rushing through it, but I'm seeing the average time is about 30 hours. Now, 30 hours for me, that's a long time. And I'm pretty sure for you as well now, Tom, that's a long time in it, 30 hours to play on a game where we have a lot of shit to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we would be able to blast through a game like this.
That's like a solid two-day session for me.
Tom, you never... What's the last game you finished, actually? Let's get down to that.
Trover Saves the Universe.
Oh wow, Trover Saves the Universe. What a serious long playtime that game has. You are unbelievable, Tom.
I'm still to finish Spider-Man.
You ain't even finished Far Cry 4. Let's not get into how many games this man hasn't finished.
Yeah, I didn't finish. I didn't finish Far Cry 4.
Exactly. There's so many games. I've finished probably more games, but I played probably fewer games than you. You play a lot more games than me, but I haven't finished Final Fantasy 15. I've been going through that game for at least since it came out, the year it came out, so that's quite a few years now. I haven't completed that game, and I've only gotten to the second half of the game. That means I've got 50% left, and I've got a 58-hour playthrough on that.
But see, so we're different. We vary. Tairell's very loyal, likes to have his finger in one pie. Me, I just like to put my fingers in loads of pies at the same time. See what happens.
See what could happen. Your fingers are gonna get burnt. That's what's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, there was something else I was gonna say there, but we're not gonna say that. We're gonna move on. But obviously, you get jam on your finger, you know what happens. But yeah, moving on. Outer Worlds.
Yo, what happens? You get jam on your finger. What pie are you on about? There's no jam in it. Yo, I ain't getting into it. There's no jam in any pie. Not any pies that I'm eating anyway. So,
the jam in pies.
All right. I'm not getting into it. I know what kind of
depends
Tom's
what pie you have.
What kind of pies Tom's
have? A cherry
Moving
pie.
on. Google.
Cherry pie.
Google.
Yeah, just finishing off there. Outer Worlds is obviously available now on PC and console. You pick it up in some places for around £37. It's about £44 on the stores. Or you can get it on Game Pass, obviously, for that £1 joining fee or $7.99 a month. So
that's what I'm finna be doing.
Easily there, easily accessible. Forget Fallout 76. Go play Outer Worlds on the Game Pass and have a better time for a lot cheaper as well. And yeah, Google, take it away.
Well, But Google is going hard with just the announcement of the Stadia, and they really think it's going to work. And not a lot of people are really on board with this. I didn't know that there's this many people really have so little faith in the stat. What was it that made everyone completely not be on board with this now? Like, I don't really know what it is. Because like the more and more, see, every time we're talking about this year, more and more people keep saying, how is this really going to work though? Are we really going to see this work? Because nobody has tried it yet. So
it's more obviously the drastic change in the market to streaming games. And obviously we've seen it tried before and doesn't work that well, but it's the fact that I think it's the fact that your game collection is solely based on Stadia, whereas for things like GeForce Now, PlayStation Now, I think, yeah, it is called PlayStation Now, Game Pass, it's a subscription fee, but obviously you can download those games as well. So it is confusing, and it is going to take a lot of while. But you know, I like the technology. I am a fan of the technology, and I do hope it's a success. But I myself am veering away from getting the Apple TV I kept mentioning, and I'll probably get the new Nvidia Shield, which came out today, actually, Monday, the 28th of November. And, you know, you can get GeForce Now stream from your PC with that. So, for the time being, I think hybrid cloud streaming is where it's at. But give it a few years, I do think that a full cloud streaming will be there. And I think Stadia is going to be the unfortunate recipient of bad press and that sort of what do you call it, like scapegoat or sort of test that's thrown into the market. But
the thing is that sorry to just to cut you off. The thing is with the Stadia as well. I know you said about bad press, but it's the way how they keep coming out and just saying crazy things like negative latency. Like, that's not real. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, when they said that, that's when everyone was just like, what do you mean negative latency? That's not a term we've ever heard about. It's not even patented. Like, if this is a true new technology we've come out with, then why have no one else been utilizing this negative latency? I would have loved to see negative latency being put on everything. Like, do you know how much latency issues there is with so many things that we need negative latency on if this is a thing that Google apparently has? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, even playing games online isn't fully latency free. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are still issues. So the fact that you can stream games now that can be over 100 gigabytes of an install online flawlessly in 60 frames a second is bullshit. I don't know how that could work. So yes, I understand people's gripes. I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm being on the side of the consumer because it's time for these companies to just get the hell out of here with some of the shit that they're trying to pull on us all the time. I don't know what Google's trying to do here, but I think them making their first party studio only now when they're a brand new console is really stupid. I think they should have had some first party IPs straight out of the gate.
I don't agree with that necessarily. I think that it's
why not? Amazon hasn't launched anything. They're just still working on their first party titles.
Amazon have launched some games and they haven't been that well received.
But what about that one that they were going to use with Twitch?
Mm-hmm. It's still in the works.
Well, Twitch is a bit of a temperamental platform at the moment. We don't know what's going on with Twitch, but I can see because we're going to get into Twitch anyway in a sec. But I see the problems with Google. I don't know how. What do you think about? My stance on Stadia is, I'm out. I'm not a part of it. They've got a VP, and the head of Stadia Games Entertainment is Jade Raymond. Jade Raymond, created Assassin's Creed. Cool. I don't know how this is gonna. I just don't know. I just don't know how this is gonna fully work. It comes out on November the 19th. I don't know anyone who's got it or is thinking about buying it. You can't play. I don't think you can play anything until December though. Or any if you can't play without the Founders Edition until December. So there's that too.
I am a fan to the degree of I'm a fan of the technology. So I won't be purchasing a Stadia or investing in Stadia, but I'll be watching very closely. Google obviously have their own cloud technology now, which is growing. Google and Amazon don't have a good relationship, so that is out of the question. But Google have their own cloud technology now. They have experience with stuff like the Chromecast. They have experience with AI, with the Google Assistant, which is primarily the sort of second assistant now. You know, it's in a lot of things. The three main assistants you've got are sort of Alexa, Alexa, Google, and Siri. So you have the three people in that market, but Amazon and Google are going into the other market. I think it's interesting. I do think it'll struggle, but I don't think it'll be a flop. I think once it comes out, and I've said this before, people will watch it closely. Because people are always interested in new technology. People are going to watch it closely and give it a few months, maybe half a year. They will get some people on board and go, okay, this does work really well, and I might invest in this now because it seems like a good way to play games. That doesn't mean their pricing structure is great. It needs to be revamped, I do think. Their Founders Edition stuff also needs a bit of work and looking at, but if it works, which I think there's a big possibility it might do, in certain areas, it might not work in all areas, but you might see, maybe more in America, that it'll work quite well. If it does work, then I think it's going to be an interesting period where, you know, people take notice of what's going on, and we know Microsoft are looking into it. Amazon are definitely looking into it because Amazon have their own cloud technology, so do Microsoft. So they're all definitely looking into it. PlayStation's looking into it, obviously partnering with Microsoft for their cloud technology. And
they also have they brought Japan's biggest cloud service in it, like in 2013. That's what PlayStation now currently runs on.
Mm-hmm. But we're sort of looking at global cloud technologies, which is why PlayStation partnered with Microsoft. I think personally, Stadia has shook the industry a tiny little bit because people are putting plans in place for the future.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like not really, because PlayStation already tried to do that with PlayStation Now. It was a really weird concept, and it didn't work that well. But it apparently works really good now. And obviously, PlayStation Now is also on PC. So if you want to play Sony games on PC, go and get PlayStation Now. You could also play games and download games now. So it's like the Game Pass a lot more. And it doesn't work too bad apparently now. But Microsoft and PlayStation coming together and combining Microsoft's cloud, which is much more superior to Sony's cloud services at the moment. And whatever Sony's been doing with their cloud service, maybe they have some insight on a couple of things that Microsoft don't know. Could be a real formidable foe for like Stadia's cloud service, especially Google, who has definitely got a pretty sturdy cloud services already. Like we use Google Drive, and a bunch of things run off Google's services that we use for the podcast, which will, if it ever went down, it would be hell. So I like to think now that Google may have a chance in this.
Google, while they're relatively new to the cloud market in the sense of
in games, I would say.
I'd say cloud platform in general, because cloud isn't necessarily cloud applications. It's
cloud storage
more,
space.
Yeah, it's more cloud platform, so the back end, all the stuff like that. That's the more important thing, the technology behind it.
All the little things that, like, sometimes when you think to yourself, like, oh, how did my, like, data or information get retained to this certain app? More likely to be a cloud service that allowed that to happen. Like, or I don't know, you're more knowledgeable about this now than me. Like, I don't really know as much about cloud service. I do know a little bit about how it works, but cloud services are being utilized for a lot of things now. But it's also the issue of, like, it requires internet in a sense. I don't know. This is a bit more of a technological talk rather than a to do with games, but the cloud race is heating up because it's not just about games. It's also about who can get the contract to do cloud services for the military. That's a really big thing at the moment as well. But we won't get into that right now.
That's already been resolved.
Has it been resolved now? Who got the contract?
Mm-hmm. Microsoft won the
Did
contract.
Microsoft get the contract?
Yep.
There you go.
So Microsoft beat Amazon to that contract.
Yeah, because I remember Amazon was really upset. Oracle tried to sue IBM. No, IBM and Oracle, or Oracle tried to sue IBM and I think Amazon for, like, basically doing, like, foul play within, like, the contracts and stuff like that. Like, apparently they did something that wasn't allowed they had to do some type of competition between all the big tech companies, so who could get the cloud contract rights for the military, because everybody knows that the military is probably one of the that's the contract you really want to get. You don't want a gaming contract. You want the military to be using your cloud services because it's going to be useful. We're going to unlock Skynet and we're going to have Terminator soon. So it is what it is.
It's doubtful, but
I'm not saying it's doubtful, man. I'm thinking Terminator very soon. Just know, I hope if anyone's coming after me, I don't want to be John Connor. Can Tom be John Connor? Thank you. New Terminator out as well. It looks alright.
Yeah. Well, we've been speaking a lot about games. Again, there's a lot of topics that we could get into, probably a little bit smaller. We are going to move away from them. There's just a quick mention that Silent Hill is coming out again, just for Halloween. You guessed it, it's a pachinko machine, because what did Konami do with every game they have, apart from Pez, turn it into a pachinko machine, or sit on it for 20 years and remaster it again in 20 years' time? So, yeah, I mean, we're talking about horror in general, so the horrors of Konami with the horrors of Silent Hills combined to form the ultimate monster, a Silent Hill pachinko machine, just in time for Halloween.
I'm about to say, this was the scariest shit I've seen this month, because it really upsets me, because it's like they didn't even try. Like, the graphics of the actual pachinko machine is even worse than any Silent Hill game I've ever seen. Like, it's worse than the PlayStation 1. Like, and the PlayStation 1 was good for the time. How could you have graphics that are worse than the PlayStation 1 for a brand new pachinko machine? Where did you even get these assets from? It's like they're buried into the computers of the actual original Team Silent, got their assets, recreated some bullshit on the screen, and thought, hey, I know everyone will want to come in and play this Silent Hill pachinko machine.
This actually has 4K Ultra HD excitement, 49-inch portrait J-curve screens, an interactive betting deck. So
have you seen the quality of the game though?
Mm-hmm.
It's awful, Tom. It's fucking awful. How could that? How can that even be 4K? Like what? Who made this? Just and
Konami.
also they have they have an erotic pachinko machine if you're into that, based on Castlevania, which is just terrible.
They also seem to use the same fonts a lot. I don't know. I'm a fan of Konami because obviously they make some of. I mean, so are you. They made some of the best games of my childhood, but sometimes I do wonder what the hell's going on at that company. But that's a scary story for another time. We don't have a lot of time to sort of cover all the horror stories that we could go into for this spooktacular. But we are going to move on to films and TV because there's some interesting stuff that's been coming out.
Bridging the gap between music and gaming. 808s and Joysticks.com.
And we're talking about interesting stuff that's coming out. A series that I constantly go on about. You would have heard me go on about it. Is Castle Rock. I got a lot of people into this because I thought a lot of people slept on this series. And it came out last year. The second season has just come back for Halloween. Oh my god. This is good. It's it's very different. So I don't want to give too many spoilers away. I won't give any spoilers away, but I don't want to give too many details away because Tyrell hasn't watched it, and if people are listening that haven't, then don't worry. I'm not going to spoil anything. There's 3 episodes out so far, but it's a different cast to the first season, which I didn't expect.
Wait, a whole brand new cast?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh yeah.
What? Not even anyone. Like, come back. Like, what's the point?
I don't know yet. We could see people coming back. We don't know yet. This is the series.
I didn't know this is going on.
But it's good. Don't worry, because this is very much more gory horror. I
just found out it's because
switches
apparently up. It's a misery origin story this season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so again, set in the Stephen King universe, can't reveal too much information about what's happened, but I mean, straight from the get-go, it jumps straight into it. There's no hiding in this season so far. It's just been pure, straight good on, there. But there's already the questions that it throws up, and there's so much stuff going on that you're trying to work out what's the biggest thing here that's going on again. And it's really interesting. So, there's obviously links to different Stephen King novels in the universe in the last season. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that. But this one, it's got a little bit of a Shining vibe to it, in my opinion, so far, which is really interesting. But then there's also different things going on. And also, I feel like it's going to link back to the first season, because there's some similarities and common themes throughout that you will pick up on if you start watching it. So, again, it's really like a good horror series that it doesn't just focus on the horror. It focuses on the story behind it, like Stephen King's books do, and the psychological element of a lot of that stuff as well, and the links between it, which again, Stephen King made that universe with the links, and it's there, and it's there to be seen. And this, American Horror Story is coming near to an end now. I think this could replace it and possibly be better.
Well,
for fans.
apparently, this season's supposed to be serving as like kind of like a bridging the gap season, and apparently season 3 would make a lot more sense in season 3. So that's something that already the directors have said. So I'm all right with that now. Not knowing that they're going to take a different direction, I think that it's okay if you're going to say that this is going to be a bridging the gap, and you'll see that there was a plan in mind, starting from the first season, and it kind of connects together. So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely say watch it if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I've already told a lot of people to go and watch this again, but I know Tyra will go and watch this because it took me a little while to convince you with the first season, but
it was hard. I was really sad that I didn't watch it initially, but
mm-hmm.
It was really, really good, and Jodie really liked it as well, which I was surprised. She doesn't really like things like that, so she said it was really good. It was really weird, so that's why she liked it. So I think I need to go back and check it out. Yeah, see what season 2 is saying, because it was really creepy, and if it's got just a bunch of stories and it's focusing especially on the origin of Misery, it's nice to see how the story of Misery happened, because I know that she did some really foul stuff. That's like kind of hinted in the Misery story, like if you watch the film or if you read the book, but you don't necessarily know to the full extent of what she did. So it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, so do you want to get into some horror films and stuff? I feel like we put down like our best horror films and stuff last time, I remember.
We did. But I mean, we sort of discussed this a tiny little bit off air, and we're talking about Stephen King, and obviously the Doctor Sleep movie is coming out. The sequel, or what
I don't know what you would really call it. I would say it's a sequel. Man. Yeah.
You said it's like a spiritual successor, didn't you?
I just because it's because Stephen King didn't like the original Kubrick version of the film of The Shining, and
mm-hmm.
a lot of elements from that film is being included in this film. So I didn't feel like it was a true sequel, and I didn't know whether Stephen King was writing the sequel with his original book in mind, and if this film has been developed that way, or the film was developed with keeping Stephen King's book in mind, but looking towards The Shining for visual cues. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to try and keep it, I guess, the world that they've already built within the Shining universe, they're trying to relay it back. Like, even in the trailer they showed when he was having nightmares, they were showing the same infamous scene from The Shining where all the blood comes out of the elevator. Like, that's an iconic scene. That I don't think that scene even it was included in the book. So for them to include that in his nightmares, it would suggest that it's more of a sequel to the film rather than the book. But coming to read more and more about it, it looks like that Stephen King had a bit more of involvement in this film, rather than he had zero involvement in The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick version. Sorry. So I don't really know I don't really know, but it looks scary though. So I think I would definitely go to watch it.
Mm-hmm. And the director sort of confirmed to a degree that it's like, I think more what you would say. I'd say instead of a spiritual successor, a spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
So it is a sequel to the original Shining film, but with King's input a bit more to...
Yeah, like using what King has written in his sequel book, which is called Doctor Sleep, sticking more closely to that rather than Stanley Kubrick, who didn't stick to The Shining as much as Stephen King may have wanted him to. And I think we're going to be able to explore some of the much more horrible things that happened in that hotel in a much detailed way. You know, some of the dream sequences and some of the hallucinations, or quote-unquote hallucinations, and some of the much more confusing concepts that we were shown in The Shining is going to be detailed a little bit better and more, because like we've seen a bunch of weird, there's a lot of weird scenes in The Shining that are never explained, and we still to this day, everyone has there's whole videos on certain sections of that film, and people still can't quite seem to get their head around certain things that they see in that film, and they can't explain it. They just don't. Nobody knows why Stanley Kubrick decided to shoot that. Nobody understands some of the things that are in there, because it's not from the book. So I think it would be nice to explore some of those more weirder scenes, because I always find like they were the more off-putting and more creepy things of the film, was when they explored like the weirder side of, I think it's called the Overlook Hotel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, there's more involvement in this. I think realistically, they had to bring in elements from the film, whether they liked it or not. The majority of people who will go and see this film are watching it because of the Shining film, not the book. So,
yeah,
you have to include elements of that film, because that's the big selling point of it. And it is, you know, as much as it's Stephen King's work, it's also Kubrick's work, and it was really good work by Kubrick. Obviously, the two didn't agree. Both very good at what they do, but they didn't agree on the vision for that thing. And this sort of tries to get a nice balance between it, I'd say. Obviously, not having seen it, but from what we've heard so far, tries to get a nice balance between it. So it looks interesting, looks exciting. One thing I will say though, considering it's Halloween, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks on Audible. This is not a sponsor, by the way. Don't worry, we're not getting sponsored by Audible. We wish.
Can you sponsor us, though, Audible, please?
Yeah. So I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks at work because I'm listening to a lot of music, and I listen to a lot of music at home. So in the day, I want to listen to something different. So I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. Now, Audible have a really good sort of section for horror books, psychological thrillers, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Really good sort of way to get into stuff like that. I listened to it on there before, which was really good. Listen through it, a lot of Stephen King novels you can go and listen through. But then there's things like very, very a little bit, but there's things that come into this section which are Audible original podcasts. So you get free access to all this stuff that they put out, like exclusive podcasts. Mm-hmm. And there's one called The Dark Web, which I've been listening to a lot. While it's not necessarily scary horror in the way that you'd normally put it, it's scary in the fact that it's real life and it's happening right now, and it's been happening for years. And if you are interested in anything like that, or just want something that's scary but a little bit different, like it's
kind of like creepy, scary, like kind of like, whoa, I didn't, like, stuff like this happens, but you didn't know how people achieved these certain things. Like, I wouldn't say that does sound really interesting, and I am interested in something like that. I do see Audible a lot, and I was thinking about getting, I think it's like a 3-month trial or whatever, just to see what it's like, because I do want to get into reading books more. but I do like listening to stuff. I usually like to listen to other podcasts and stuff to like improve on like how I can speak on the show and how to, develop topics and develop conversation and different ways of how to present ourselves and, pacing. But I don't really listen to like books or anything, but I probably would be interested in listening to an audio book. But as Tom said, I listen to a lot of music as well, and sometimes you can get fatigued on music. I also like people playing through games, but like story games, like Phoenix Wright, and them doing like characters and stuff. Because it feels like I'm listening to like a game I already know, but I'm listening to the story being played out by like two really great voice actors or something. It's like a film, but it's not a film, if you know what I mean. So it's actually interesting actually that you say that about content, because I also split it up. Like I feel like I can listen to music a lot, but I've come to find out like there's so much music now that I have to listen to, just because it's the fact of like we have to listen to someone every week. We have to listen to brand new music in order to even have a playlist, because even the playlist sometimes it's a struggle, and it gets difficult sometimes to see which songs we haven't already put on there, because there's only so much music that we really, really, really like. And obviously we just don't want to put any old stuff on the playlist. We want to put something on there that is at least relatable to us. But anyway, it's not about music at the moment. I can't remember what I was going to say. I also have watched some YouTube videos that are based on the dark web. Like there's like a person who does the darker side of Reddit. And I think those videos are really interesting, because there's some really weird shit on Reddit that I didn't know about, and weird people that have been on Reddit for years that just disappear, and they like kind of do like a little bit of like a profile background on them and like find them and see where they are now and what kind of person they really was. And there's some real freaks out there, like some really, really creepy people out there. So I if you're interested in that real life stuff, I would say, I would say check out Nexpo. He's a guy who used to be called like Dark Nightmare Expo or something like that on YouTube, but now he's called himself Nexpo. He does a lot of those kind of videos. What's that podcast that you're listening to called? So, I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff on the internet. I mean, a lot of dark areas to go into. But this is, if you do sign up to that free trial on Audible, you get access to this straight away anyway, and it doesn't use your credit up. It just comes free without using your credit up. So it's called The Dark Web, and it's a audiobook split into sections by Jeff White and Bernard, can't find his name. But yeah, it's really interesting. It touches on the real dark side of the dark web, but then also brings in the positive side of it as well. So it's an interesting listen. Each episode probably around 20 to 30 minutes long, so it's a nice short split up, or you can go through it all in one go. And I think that's really interesting, especially, security these days and everything being online. It's definitely worth taking your time to listen to something like that if you've got it, just to know what the possibilities are for anything that could happen. And also, like, the dark web is incredibly dangerous. If you are going on there, just know what kind of thing you're doing. Do your research if you are ever going to do anything like that, because there isn't all bad stuff on the dark web. Apparently a lot of it is empty for the most part, but if you know where to look, there is some really seriously incriminating things that you can do on there that is you don't want on your PC, because people will know that you're doing that. So just hands off the dark. The dark web is a very dark place. That's all I would say. I've never ever used it. I've never accessed it. I am too afraid. Like, I am so afraid if something bad is going to happen on my PC. Like, someone will hack me. Someone's going to know where I live. I don't know. Like, if you're ever going on the dark web.
That happens way without the dark web.
Yeah, that can happen without the dark web.
Oh,
either
no,
way.
it it can't happen. It happens without a dark web on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're talking to someone who is scared to go to the circus, so they're not probably going to download a browser to go on the dark web. But
who's scared to go to the circus?
You. We'll move on.
Of course I'm scared. Of course I'm scared to go to the circus, because why would I want to see a clown? First and foremost, anybody who's gone to the circus in 2019 is a fool. And what's it called? Secondly, because I don't know why you want to go to the circus anyway. And also, that's got nothing to do with the dark web. The dark web is just a scary place because people do criminal stuff. And I feel like people think the dark web's cool, but it's not a cool place. You get yourself into a lot of trouble by going on there, just from being on there. You'll see things that are not for people who should be seeing stuff. Like, you shouldn't be seeing that kind of content. There's a lot of heinous things on there. That is all I've heard. I don't know about it. That's all I've heard. So, I'm not scared to go to the circus, by the way, but I do not like clowns. I very much dislike clowns. But don't worry, Tom's scared of a lot of things as well. We'll get to him soon. What are you saying? You are... yeah, I'm not even going to say it because I already say what I'm scared of. Yeah, I won't say what Tom's scared of because I'm actually a good friend. So, it's fine.
I don't really think there's too much.
All right, Tom.
Okay, well, we've got two choices. We've got a little 15-minute gap that we can float about in. Now, I'm a really big fan of clown movies a lot of the time and horror stuff. So we can go down like our favorite scary clowns or
favorite there's not even that many of them. All right,
there's a good few.
All right, so you got it, yeah, he's kind of scary. Ronald McDonald, he's kind of scary. Like,
Ronald McDonald is not scary.
Ronald McDonald is he looks like Ronald McDonald looks like a sex predator. I don't even know what anybody can say about him. He doesn't look friendly. Why would a child like that? He's terrifying. He has a big red nose and he has face paint on. I'm not even getting into this right now. I'm not even getting into this right now. But top 5 scariest clowns. What's your top 5 scariest clowns then?
I mean, Pennywise is in there.
Oh wow, Pennywise.
Twisty the Clown for American Horror Story.
He's in like 2 episodes.
He's in the whole season of 4 Freak Show.
He's not in it that
much. He comes
honest,
back with his own comic.
To be honest, I haven't even watched it. Like, I've not watched Freak Show.
Yeah, it's probably not advisable. But yeah, there's the clown in Zombieland, which probably isn't
the clown in Zombieland. Joe, yeah. I'm putting a stop to this top 5 list right here because it's obviously Tom is clutching at straws. So I'm just putting a stop to this top 5 list. Before we start getting into the top 5 things Tom's really scared about, which we won't share on this. You have to listen to Tyrell's exclusive show coming soon.
We have 10 minutes left of this section, so we'll do a
10. No, we don't have 10 minutes left of this section. We'll talk about Rick and Morty, and we'll talk about The Grudge, and then move on to the music.
No, I want to do this top 5 things we're scared of for the Spooktacular. Yeah. What?
Tom, you're not going to admit, you're trying to say that you're not scared of anything, but I know there's things that you're scared of.
Yes, serial killers.
Oh, probably wow, serial killers. Everyone should be scared of them.
There's no jump out things to me that sort of jump in my head and go, oh, I'm really scared of that.
Exactly. I'm not scared of anything but clowns. And the only reason why I'm scared of clowns is because it's one isolated incident that happened on my birthday. And Ronald McDonald was there at McDonald's birthday party. If that didn't happen, I'd probably be okay with clowns. But he terrified me in a shocking way where I was he was unexpectedly there in my face. He shouldn't have been in my face. Like, if it wasn't in my face, I wouldn't have been scared. But apart from that, though, I'm pretty cool on all horror films. I could talk about the time when Tom and Brandon were both basically in each other's arms, crying over a horror film. We won't say what horror film it was, though, because it's pretty pussy. so, like...
When was this?
When was this? Oh, yeah. One day, we're going to bring Brandon onto the podcast here. That's one of our really good friends. And he would tell us all about the time when Tom was scared. We won't get into that, though.
Was this the Illuminati film?
What? Oh, now the Illuminati film. Okay, granted, we was both pretty sketched out by that film, though, because the next day, didn't we see a guy in the hoodie that was exactly the same symbol? I swear we did.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little bit sketch. I won't lie. That film had me feeling a little bit weirded out because that was real life. I don't really mess with real life stuff like that. That's a bit scary.
Oh yeah. So a bit of context. I sort of like this scary story thing of movies and stuff, and this is a good little section. Bit of context. We were all sort of watching a film. It was pretty late. We just we had this period of going through trying to watch like really shitty horror movies, and we found this film. We thought it looks weird. Let's put it on. It's sort of like a true style documentary. I
don't know what. In the end, I was confused on whether it was real or if it was fake. I didn't know what was going on anymore.
Mm-hmm. So it's not real, but we went in with the intention of not knowing whether it was real or not. We thought it might be real. So we were just watching it thinking, this shit's really weird. Like, really weird. And it's all about this Illuminati stuff and cults. And then, we went to college the next day, got on the train, and there's just this guy in the same jacket as the film, and we were just there like, what the fuck? Like, this is some weird shit. Like, it was so you couldn't write it.
It was so weird. Like, the symbol and everything was exactly the same. Like, and we was like, nah, this just doesn't seem right. And to actually this day, I actually don't remember what the film was called.
That's how they want it to be.
I'm gonna find it though. I remember it was a bull. It was something to do with a bull head. I remember that.
Yeah, it was.
I remember that most.
Oh yeah, okay. That film probably still haunts me the most.
It was a really weird film. Do you know what I'd say? Was that got me pretty terrified? The Fourth Kind. That film's pretty scary. That film. That film's
in my top 5. That was a scary film.
I didn't like that when that first came out because they were like saying that it was really real alien abductions and shit. I was spooked. I was thinking, oh my god, like, what do you mean like real alien abductions captured on film? I was like, oh my fuck. Like the woman at the beginning was like all messed up and everything. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Like, yeah, that was pretty terrifying. I didn't like The Fourth Kind. I did not like that. I'm trying to think what other films that really got me out.
I was just trying to find it then because I do have it on DVD right here, but I can't find it. But yeah, that's a weird film. Not one of the favorite ones. But you sort of speaking about Ronald McDonald, just your episode with Ronald McDonald. The reason you don't like Ronald McDonald, there's three characters that I don't like from my childhood. And these are very sort of you wouldn't be able to guess them. You definitely not be able to guess them. Number 1 on the list, we've got Mr. Blobby.
I knew he was going to say Mr. Blobby because my sister's terrified of Mr. Blobby. So like, I just knew he was going to say Mr. Blobby. He's a weirdo. He wasn't scary to me. I just found he was misunderstood.
Mr. Blobby,
he was constantly trying to tell us he was in pain or he was in distress or something. He didn't speak in real language. What was Mr. Blobby?
I'm not sure, but so context for the story. It was never really I was scared of him, but probably at a really young age, I didn't like Mr. Blobby. Now I was probably 2, I think. The reason for this is he was one of my favourite characters, so my mum and dad for my birthday party decided that they should get someone to dress up as Mr. Blobby. So my mum left the room and then come back dressed as Mr. Blobby. And I was like, where's my mum gone? Where's Mr. Blobby ate my mum? And it was really sort of a weird sort of thing for me, maybe at 2. Like, obviously I don't remember it I do remember it a little bit, which is quite weird because you don't remember that stuff at a young age.
Nah, you don't. But you remember certain key things that like traumatized
Mr. Blobby
you. Though,
scarred
like,
me, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Ronald McDonald thing. I remember Ronald McDonald being a key piece of why I don't like clowns. He's just the centerpiece of it all. It all surrounds him.
Number 2, I'll go for the less weird one here. Probably more of a guessable one as well. The Witch from Snow White.
The Witch from Snow White?
Oh, The Witch from... Yeah, I hated that film. Absolutely hated that film.
I'm trying to think of the original. Yeah, the one that gave her the apple.
The old witch.
Yeah.
Not the queen, the old witch.
Yeah. I was about to say is that with the queen. Who is it? Is Maleficent in that one?
No, it's just the queen.
Is that Sleeping Beauty? I don't know what Maleficent's in. I can't remember which one.
It might be. I can't remember. But yeah, that proper scared me for a long time. And that was, again, it was just because I didn't like the film when she gave her the apple. It always made me cry when I was little. Because it's a scary part of that film. You know, it is when you're little, it's quite a scary part of that film. I mean, now I don't cry at it. But back then I did, you know, when I was about 15, 16. But yeah, the reason why I don't like The Witch from Snow White, we're going into like imagination land now. So it's like, used to live in a bungalow in the countryside on the ground floor. Now, obviously, you've seen like the bungalow you used to live in. There's a big window at the end of the bed where I used to sleep, and I always used to have a dream that this witch popped up at this window every night when I was sleeping, and it used to scare the shit out of me. And it always looked like the witch out of Snow White, like spot on. So
what? Even like fully drawn and animated? No, joking.
Nah, like
a real life version. Like yeah, like a real life version.
Like a proper scary fucking thing that was going on there. And like as a kid, knowing that the window's there and the door's there, like it proper creeped me out. So that went on for ages, and I always kept asking, like, sometimes can we like? So I there's one thing actually, I have a fear of, and I can't ever leave a window open when I get to sleep. I have to shut curtain.
Oh, nah, forget that. I'm not doing that shit. Yeah, I have to shut all the curtains.
That's definitely linked to that. I think that's like where my curtain thing comes into. That's definitely linked to that window and having that witch pop up every night in my head. Or what? I don't know if it was in my head. It might not have been in my head. Who fucking knows? Anything could have happened out there.
Yeah, well, you don't know. So, or something obviously scared you outside your window at one point, and that was it. Like that, and then your mind just plays tricks on you. An old woman
was stood out my window at one point as a witch.
Jesus Christ, that just sounds really terrifying as a child. Like, because you know definitely that old woman is either up to no good, doing something crazy outside, or she's gonna kidnap you. Like,
oh yeah, but here's the weird part, right? So when we moved to the other house, which was obviously built on the side of it, or next door, so moved to the house. So obviously, I'm not on the ground floor anymore. I'm in my own bedroom on the top floor, very safe. You know, hardly gonna get in there. No windows, can't see out the windows. All good. I had a dream like the very first few nights that we moved in there and I remember it so vividly as well, which is weird. I must have still only been young, but I remember that, yeah, I could, like, see the witch, and she come all the way up the stairs, and I was sleeping on the floor in my mum and dad's room. She came up the stairs, and I opened the door and was, like, stood over me, and I was like, how the fuck do you get in here, and why are you in here? Like, that was weird, like, the connection that it made between the two things all
like,
in my head.
Man, it's like, oh, you thought you was getting away? Nah, witch can still come up here, though.
Yeah, it's like
it was kind of like
moved away from
like
that
your head was
window,
like,
and now she's just
your head was like, yo, yeah, you thought you was safe. The witch can still get you though. Like, you gotta think smarter, Tom.
Yeah, and that
shit.
was that's probably my maybe witches. Maybe that's my thing.
Well,
Witches.
I will let you into a little tidbit, and then we're going to move on. We'll explore this next Halloween. I was really scared when Michael Jackson turned into a werewolf from Thriller. I hated it. As a kid, I hated that part of the video. I fucking hated that part of the video. It was so terrifying. It was so scary. I was about 5 years old. I remember watching the Thriller video and thinking that was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, I was so terrified of Michael Jackson turning into a werewolf, because I thought, shit, Michael Jackson's really turned into a werewolf. Like, what's going on here? And then everyone was zombies. I was terrified. I was terrified of that video. But as I grew up, I loved it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's got a creep to it. I'll give you that. But it never made me terrified of wolves or anything like that.
Nah, I'm not terrified of wolves or anything. Like, I fuck with werewolves. They're pretty hard. Like, they're like the opposite of vampires. So, what they are? They're like anti-vampires, isn't it? Like vampires are bloodsuckers. Like, werewolves are just like badass beasts. So, like, I like werewolves. Yeah, they are bloodsuckers. Like,
yeah.
Screw you, vampires.
I'm a vampire, man. Team.
Don't even say team anyone. Don't say team anyone, because I'm about to flame you back into hell if you say anything about Team Edward or Team anyone, because that film is aged like a sack of shit. Like, he's aged so poorly. Like, if you go back and watch Twilight right now, you'll see how washed out and boring that film looks. It looks like someone's put like an Instagram filter all over it, like, for no reason.
Let me give you an interesting little riddle, or a little bit of a thing to mull over in your mind, right? It's interesting, this. So, say Team Edward, yeah, okay. But Edward's now a Batman. So what's going on there? Like, whose team is he on now? What's going on? How can
Oh, wait. Yeah, Tom, we're missing the connection. He's a vampire. Vampire?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bat vampires. You know how vampires supposed to turn into bats originally? Is that why they chose him as to be Batman?
I mean, it would make sense. Like, it's the first Batman that's an actual bat.
We cracked the code, everyone. This is why I can't even remember his name. What's his name?
Robert Pattinson.
This is why Robert Pattinson is Batman, because he played a vampire that can turn into bats. He's now
what do you
Batman.
mean? He is a vampire. Edward something.
You think his name's called Ed? You think they're gonna call him Edward Wayne?
Could do.
Oh,
could do.
Imagine if it's a Twilight crossover.
Ooh. So, one final thing. I need to finish my top 3. I know we need to get on to stuff. I need to finish my top 3. Any guesses on who the most prolific out of the 3 monsters is that I'm scared of? It's quite a, we're going for children's characters here, so quite a scary children's character. May share a name with me. We have no guesses, nothing.
May share a name with you. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. normally chugs around on a few wheels.
What, Tom is the Tank Engine?
Yes.
What did he do?
That scary motherfucker.
What did he do? Oh my gosh.
He didn't do anything, but I had a dream. It's mainly based
Yo,
on
what
dreams.
dreams have you been having over the years that's made you this terrified of like certain characters? These are characters that are not supposed to be scary. Like,
well, no, the witch in Snow White is meant to be scary. Maybe not that scary. Maybe
it's
not like
creepy.
coming,
it's not supposed to be like
not coming to
scary.
your house and like stand over your bed
and managing to
stare
get
at
up
you
the
through a
you know,
window.
if I say managing to get up the stairs and actually look at you and be like,
Yeah,
hey,
that
Tom.
quite unrealistic. That, to be fair, because she was quite an old woman, so it wouldn't have been as scary as a dream if she come up on a stair lift with an apple in her hand. But yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine was a scary one. I used to love him, loved watching him and everything like that. And then one night just had a dream that he turned into this absolutely horrific Transformer monster that just went absolutely fucking wild, man.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Tom had enough.
It was weird.
Tom had enough. No, I'm referring to Thomas, the Tank Engine. He had enough of the fat control.
He had enough of being pushed around.
He was like, Joe, hey, I got something for all of you lot that think that I'm just a fucking train engine. Like, I'm sorry, it's bin time. Why am I still in operation? There's electric trains now. Tom's like, I'm sick of this. Get me off the tracks now. You have a helicopter. Why is he a part of us? He's not a tank engine.
Yeah, so Thomas the Tank Engine turned
demonic,
pretty Godzilla on me, yeah. And that was a scary night. That was
Thomas the Satanic Engine. Oh my gosh. That is some of the wildest nightmares. I've had some crazy nightmares as well myself. I had one, the craziest one was, I'll leave it at this. The Hulk was running through bare walls and he kept running through every wall. I kept opening doors and he kept smashing through the door. Like, he didn't open the door, he would just smash straight through it. It was terrible. Me and the Hulk was running for a while. Like, I thought the Hulk was really gonna crush me. Yo, I've had one about, there was an advert for Coronation Street, which is a soap in the UK. They used to be sponsored by Cadbury's, and they used to have Cadbury's people, and they were like chocolate people. I had a nightmare that the chocolate people were outside of my kitchen window when I was a kid. I was so terrified of going into my kitchen at night time after that. So I thought there was chocolate people out there.
But how's that scary? You could eat them.
Because it was scary. Yo, Tom... But it's just the fact that these were fully functioning. They were all just looked like normal humans, but they were just chocolate. They were all full. Can you not see how surreal and weird that is for a child? To see everyone as a chocolate person. Like, I was scared.
I bet you hated Cadburyland.
Nah, Cadburyland was sick. I loved that because that wasn't like. The Coronation Street thing happened really early on when I was a kid, and like those adverts got stopped running because it actually found out that people were getting scared of those adverts. So it's cool.
But you didn't get to Cadburyland when they had the Coronation Street set there.
No. I went Cadbury World. Like,
I was gonna say
I went there when like. I went there years after that nightmare. Like, I wasn't scared after that. I was a bit more older. I think I was just about to go into high school, so I was alright.
It was on the restricted list until teenage years.
Yeah, I wasn't because I didn't see it that much because it was just about sponsoring a certain show at the time. It was just kind of a reoccurring nightmare for that time period of my life. And then after that, I didn't see it again. I was okay, so it's cool.
Mm-hmm. The final, there is one final one that I want to leave with. It is pretty scary. So at university, I was a big fan. I mean, everyone knows I'm a big fan of the Joker, particularly Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker. So I had a poster of that up in my room because why not? Weirdly placed it at the end of my bed for some reason. At eye level. And I don't know why I ever placed it there because it really made no sense. But it was perfectly fine until university, you get very, very, very tired. And when you wake up and you're half asleep, and we're not talking sleep paralysis here because that shit's scary.
Yeah, not talking sleep paralysis. Shit's scary, and that shit's like really real. I've never had it before, but like we are talking sleep paralysis a little bit. Yeah,
I was frozen the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I woke up and I was very tired. My eyes were very, winding. And I just looked up towards the end of my bed, and all I can see is the Joker, his head, and his hand resting on this cabinet. But from when you lie down on the bed, it looks like he's sort of resting on the end of the bed with his hand. Oh my! It was one of the scariest moments of my life. Waking up and seeing this clown, this guy that is a mass psychotic murderer, sat at the end of your bed, or someone dressed up as him just sort of sat at the end of your bed, and you're there like, oh fuck, like
you're just like, well, it was a good run. Yeah, it looks like it's my time to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we may have to do another spooktacular because there's many stories we can get into, but we are running short on time again, as we normally do. I'm gonna move it on to music.
Bridging the gap between music and gaming. 808s and Joysticks.com.
And it's important that we had a little bit of a rant and a ramble about random shit, because Kanye West did that very recently, and his album finally came out, not without being delayed again a few times, but it did finally come out, and I really like it now.
I'll give my thoughts on it after we talk about the new releases. I don't think I'm ready to unload what I've got to say about this album. I got a few things to say, but I know we're running out of time. I just want to get through the new releases really quick because
there's a lot of good new releases.
1 second. So we have Dream Girl by Anna of the North, obviously Jesus is King by Kanye, Pony by Rex Orange County, Moment Spent Loving You, Javier Omar, and Sango, formerly known as Spezzy Rocket, Han by Bahana, Garage Classical by DJ Spoonie, really good. Me and Tom was both listening to that when recording the last show, so that was a really good project that we found out after recording it. There's just a few more things as well. Sweet Insomnia by Gallant. I'm trying to think. I've seen some other projects have come out as well. I can't really see them right now. Well, we'll move on to the singles. DHL by Frank Ocean. Obviously our first Frank song in a while. But one thing to actually mention about that song as well is that song was recorded in 2017, meaning that it's a very old Frank Ocean song that is just being released now. Rumored to be track 5 of a 13-track album that he is coming out with. But we'll get into more of that in a sec.
Also want to point out it's not scientifically correct, because you don't always get your packages from people like DHL or UPS, for example. It's probably more telling that the song's called DHL and not UPS.
Yeah,
it'd be a very different song if it's called UPS.
Well, it'd be a very different song if it was called Yodel. Anyway, Peachy Keen by El Divine, Dreamin' 4 by Jay Gray, Lose You to Love Me and Look at Her Now by Selena Gomez. That was it really. There wasn't really many there's not really many singles out. I'm trying to look down my list myself just to see if I can give anybody something new that I know that's come out, but I think a lot of people were really scared and trying to stay clear, if anything. Oh, AJ Tracy's got the deluxe edition of his album out.
Yeah.
And Stereophonics has got a new album out.
Coldplay did announce a new album that is coming and released a few singles off that. But
Rich 32 has a brand new album out as well.
I think it's important to note that while not a lot of things are coming out, all the things we've mentioned, very, very solid projects that have come out in the last 2 weeks. And it's really good because recently there's been a lot of music and I'd say maybe not so much quality, whereas this week, like, all of these albums are in my library that I've been listening to and trying to get through, which is good because it's a real sort of big hit of quality, which I'm happy with because it means there's a good few albums to get through in a short amount of time now. But it's nice bringing you up to that Christmas period where it is going to get a little bit busier as well. So it's exciting. And yeah, Jesus is King finally came out. My reviews with it were, I was confused when I first listened. Very confused when I first listened. But every morning, I've been waking up to every hour. And it's revolutionized my life. Every morning I wake up to gospel music and it's great.
Tom, I could have told you what gospel music to wake up to years ago. Like, this is the problem with the album. Yeah, okay, I'll let you get on.
Nah, it's I'm more looking forward to the Sunday Service album that you said is coming out at Christmas. Which Christmas? I don't know. Christmas 2023, apparently, maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm looking forward to that album as well because that is what I wanted to hear from the album in the first place. I was happy I was unhappy at the lack of gospel samples on their actual whole project.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's still a pretty solid project. You know, I said this to you. I said it's not Kanye's best album, and it's not. But you know what? His shit, or what people say is shit, it's still good. It's still good. Like, it is a good album. Like, if you go through and listen to the songs, okay, lyrics might not be that good. He tried to make them as, I don't know, not dumbed down as possible, but very sort of whatever. Closed on Sunday, You My Chick-fil-A. Don't know about that. That's
just.
But it's good. It's a good meme that pumps up. Kanye knows what he's doing, man. He knows.
But it's not a good meme though. It's not a good meme though because it's not. It's not. The album isn't working. I'm seeing it's not working that I thought it was going to work to an extent. It's not the album that I was expecting from seeing the whole Jesus is King film and all of that and everyone dancing around to like songs and stuff. That's not the album I'm expecting. If I'm seeing all of that, like, you know, what's called it. Mm-hmm. I'll let you carry on, get your review off because obviously I said I got my own impressions of the album.
Yeah, so just a little talk through the songs. Every Hour featuring Sunday Service, really good. Really like that. No, I think you'll agree with me on that one.
Yeah, the song is really good.
But there's not much else that I don't like apart from the outro. And it did take me a lot of time to listen to them. But, you know, Seller for me, really good. Follow God, I'm getting into it a bit more. Closed on Sunday, get into it a bit more. The first time On God came on, though, when I was in the car, that reminded me of that 0708 Kanye. And it did. Like, you listen to that song and you sort of get that flashback of, like, oh, that's what Kanye used to sound like. But it's interesting. But then, Everything We Need with Ty Dolla, Water with Ant Clemens is an absolute great song. Like, I really do think it is. But even like Use This Gospel with Clips and is it Kenny G?
Yeah, it's Kenny G. Yeah.
Even that, it is good. There's not much continuity in the album, and there's nothing holding it together as much as a solid project. But individually, it's not too bad, and it's a pretty positive message. He's a bit batshit crazy, okay, but the guy still knows how to make good music, and while people might hate it, I want to think it's bad, but I just can't. It's still good, and that's my review. Yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, the album is 11 tracks. It's about 26 minutes. Honestly, 26 minutes of a project like this is not worth the wait. I don't know how he could in any way, shape or form tour this album. I don't really know what he thinks he's doing with this project, but it isn't being very well received critically or commercially by the looks of it. So I don't really know. I'm really disappointed because it is probably one of the first Kanye West projects that I really don't enjoy. And that's probably not just to say even with. I think it's more to the point that I listened to the leaked version of Yandy, the original version of whatever this album is, and there's about 4 songs on there that are on this project that are a much superior version of those songs, in my opinion. They're way better. Their concepts are much more better done. It seems way better executed. I just feel like Kanye got into this hole of him trying to make a Jesus gospel album. It's not even a gospel album. I can't even call it that because there's only maybe 3 gospel samples on there. I can't call that a gospel album. College Dropout is more of a gospel album than this. I think him using the whole Sunday service thing at the beginning, and I thought I had high hopes coming into the project, and then when I'm hearing songs I've already heard about 6 months ago and the song hasn't even changed. So you mean to tell me you've been sitting on the same song for 6 months and this is how it's been released in this exact same way, and you're trying to tell me that you're tweaking mixes? You're lying. That's what I didn't like about this project. I think it's very lazy. I think Kanye knows how much of a fan base he has now, and I don't think it has that much effort put into it. Even from the album art, not that much effort put into it. I just think he thinks he's got to a point where he doesn't have to try that much. I think his next project would be very telling. If his next project isn't what I expect out of him, or isn't...
Are you done with him now?
I'm not done with Kanye. I just think that he's saying really stupid things even more. And now his music's not even backing it up. You don't have a Kid See Ghost to make me interested in you anymore. You're just saying stupid stuff, talking about Jesus and God, and that's a whole different ball game right there. I ain't even gonna get into that because I've been to church. I know what church is really about, and it ain't it, in my opinion. So it all seems very funny from my standpoint when I look at it. That's just me taking my personal experiences, though. I'm not trying to say that's not how anybody else is going to interpret it. There's people that have never even heard gospel music or never even knew about the concept of gospel music. They think Kanye is bringing something new to them. It's not new. It is old, very old, and it's been done a lot. very
Yeah,
much and more well by other people. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just think that. Carry on.
I was just gonna say on that point, if that is the case and people haven't heard it before, then go listen to it, because it's definitely not an original concept from Kanye, and there's definitely better things out there. I mean,
yeah, well, I've been seeing fans saying that Kanye West is made gospel music popular. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, Christianity is the number one religion in the world. Like, black churches literally thrive off gospel music. Like, if we're really going to be honest, no, Kanye West did not popularize gospel music. He did not. There is a lot more people that I could accredit for gospel music being popular at the moment than Kanye West, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, if that's the case, those people did not watch Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg in, because...
Oh my gosh. Sister Act 2 is one of the greatest... I hate, and you know how much I hate musical films in it, Tom. Like, you can say that for everyone right now. I do not like any of that. I don't like The Greatest Showman. I don't like none of that bullshit. La La Land, fuck it all. I don't like none of that shit. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. I get Spicer in here. Yeah, Moonlight out now, bitch. So, I know everyone was salty over that. Moonlight out right now. Go watch it. Way better film. Also, Sister Act 2, one of the greatest musical films of all time. High School Musical 2, one of the greatest musical films of all time as well. Hey Bada Bada, Hey Bada Bada, swing. That's what I got to say.
Why is that it? That's how we're ending it. Okay.
That's how. Nah, I would give it credit.
That's how we're ending the.
That's how I was gonna end it. That's how I was gonna end the show. But nah, I'll give it credit. I give credit to Kanye for once again producing a new album that sounds nothing like his last album. Once again, he's done it. He's a true innovator. I won't knock him for being a creative. He is one of our best creative minds out. Can't take that away from him. He's trying to do so many things to further himself and in design and further other aspects of life. He's trying to do other things, and I like what Kanye is trying to do in that regard, but I think in regards to his music, I think that's took a step back, in my opinion. And it regrets me to say it, because I'm a massive. People can't call me a Kanye hater. I'm a massive Kanye West fan. I have had to defend this man in the craziest of situations. When people were telling us Yeezus was crap and how terrible the album is, and I listened to Yeezus and I thought it was amazing, and everyone thought I was crazy. Maybe this is the Yeezus that everyone thinks is good, and I'm shitting on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I personally think that this album has a lot of influence from all these other albums in it.
Oh yeah, there was a couple songs in there that I thought
you listen to certain songs and you think like that would fit nicely on Pablo, or that would fit nicely on Graduation.
See, I thought mostly about it. The Life of Pablo stood out to me the most in the concepts of this album, and I would say a little bit of Yeezus in terms of how he was rhyming on it, and there's, like I said, like the sound from Ye and Kids See Ghosts is nowhere to be seen on this album. Like that's why I was kind of a little bit like, well, it sounded like Ye was a development of the Life of Pablo sound. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as I said, Karen,
I was a big fan of Ye.
I like Ye. I was a little bit like
album,
at first I wasn't feeling it, but Ye is probably up there. It's not up there. It's like my top Kanye album, but I can listen to it now, and I really enjoy the project. The beats on it are really solid. I like how it encapsulated that one era that he had where Kanye was obviously just battling himself and his family, and everything was just on fire, but Kanye West was like creating through it all. Like, it was weird. The whole 7 albums in 7 weeks, it was a crazy time. You know, we had the Pusha T Drake beef. That was a whole era in itself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that was crazy right then. This new era here is, I don't know, maybe it's because it's all about like God and religion. I just feel like there's something more weirder tied to this one. It might not help the fact that I've watched Midsommar as well. Midsommar's a very weird film. Everyone go watch it. I just feel like there's a lot of culty kind of stuff going on these days, and it's just really odd. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if like the Sunday service thing is a good idea or a bad idea. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a nice way to sort of end a lot of the stuff. And I don't think anyone knows what the next route is for Kanye.
I don't know.
I don't think he knows.
That's what I'm saying. He even was, he had a conversation with his wife Kim the other day, and saying how he doesn't want it to dress that sexy anymore. But like Kanye 2 years ago, not even 3 years ago, where he was talking about having sex with women and making them famous, and it's just crazy. You know when concepts are just crazy to get your head around now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Kanye West as a person has so many different he's changed over the years so many times. It's just like, what's not telling me that the person he is right now isn't just another era? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if it's all authentic. I don't know. Like it's his first ever fully clean album as well. It's got no profanities on it. So it's just weird. We're living in a weird time at the moment. That's all I would say. I don't know, man. Favorite artist at the moment is Baby Keem. No, go and listen to Baby Keem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the best way to end all of that is just to end it on the iconic line, which was Yeezy taught me.
Wait. Actually, no.
From Ye 38. That is.
No, what we do need to say though, big shouts out to Sango for linking up with Frank for the Casiendo track or whatever. Casiendo, I don't know what it's called, but that is like a dream come true for me and Tom. We're massive Sango fans. For Sango to now be collaborating with Frank Ocean is just amazing. I don't think you understand how much of a big thing that is for music, but yeah, I think that's really cool. Shout out to Sango. Shout out to Selection, of course. Yeah, weekly playlist daily, every week. Follow the socials. We're on everywhere. Thank you for the overwhelming support that we get. We're growing every day. We're trying different things every day. We're getting better every day. So, yeah. I know you got any more other sign up thoughts other than Yeezy taught me. I'm not going with that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm hoping the Christmas album is going to be what I was expecting. I want to hear some heavy gospel tracks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only have one other thing to end with, which is I miss the old Kanye. Straight from the go Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye. Set on his goals Kanye. I hate the new Kanye. The bad mood Kanye. The always rude Kanye. Spaz in the news Kanye. And that's it. Yep. We're done. Spooktacular 2019. We're out.
.808s and Joysticks with Tom Stone and Tairell Hayward Brown.